What's up, everyone? My name is Brian, and this is my YouTube channel. This is my very first video on the channel, hopefully first of many. So if you find yourself clicking on this video, I appreciate you giving me the click. Stick around and watch and see if there's anything that that you like. Just come by and spend time with me. We're on this channel. We're going to be doing Reddit stories. Today we got a few good ones, so stick around and enjoy the show. Today we are on the Am I the A-hole Reddit subreddit. For those of you that don't know, Am I the A-hole or Am I the asshole? Am I the A-hole? It's a subreddit for people who come on and post a situation that they're involved in, and they come to Reddit to see if the way that they acted in that situation was butthole-ish behavior or not, and to see if they're justified in the way that they behaved or reacted to whatever happened to them in their circumstance. So today we're going to be going over a few stories, a few Am I the A-hole stories, to see what these people got going on and to see whether or not they were justified in their reactions to their circumstances. So let's get started. All right. The first story starts, Am I the a-hole for spending money saved for an engagement ring on a tattoo? For spending money saved for an engagement ring on a tattoo. Now my first thoughts are, okay, it depends on the situation, right? So I'm assuming this is a guy. I haven't read it yet, obviously. But I'm assuming this is a guy who saved money for an engagement ring for his partner, that I'm assuming is a woman. Now in this situation, if they are broken up, if something happened between them to cause them to break up, or things went sour and they're no longer together, then yeah, he can do whatever he wants with his money, right? Now he would be the a-hole if they're still together and he chose to spend the money on something else while still with his partner, while still planning to get married. Yeah, so we just have to read and get more context, because as of right now, if they are still together, I'm going to say he is the a-hole. If they are broken up, then he's not the a-hole, because it's his money and he can do whatever he wants, right? So let's hop into the story and see what we got. Okay. Am I the a-hole for spending money saved for an engagement ring on a tattoo? A bit more than a month ago, my now ex broke up with me out of the blue. There you go. Okay. First sentence, says that they're no longer together. So there's no problem with this guy spending his own money on a tattoo. Makes sense to me. I don't want to go into details of the relationship or the breakup, but we had been talking about marriage before the breakup. We had settled on the wedding bands and an engagement ring. I am by no means well off and arguably live paycheck to paycheck, but I managed to always pay my bills, save money, and budget money for fun, concerts, fancy dinners, trips to Ren fairs, cons, rallies, random events, etc. Fantastic. So I mean, it sounds like this guy he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's not he's not rich. He's not balling, but his bills are paid. He's saving money and he's putting away money to do things that he enjoys. So honestly, to me, that sounds ideal. That's awesome. Okay. While still doing all these things, I managed to put aside several $1,000s for an engagement ring she wanted. That's also fantastic. Man, this is okay. The more I read, the more I'm on this guy's side, right? Like, he put away several $1,000s for her engagement ring, which I think that's pretty good. After the breakup, I decided to spend that money on myself, which is fine. It's his money. I bought myself my favorite bourbon, a case of my favorite cigars, and finally finished a large tattoo sleeve I have been working on for 2 years. The issue came when I started casually seeing a young woman. Let's call her D. I knew D before I met my ex, but we were more acquaintances than anything else, just due to life stuff, and honestly, because I only had eyes for my now ex from the moment I first met her. but we knew enough about each other that she was familiar with the fact that I am not one to just casually throw money around. Since this money wasn't budgeted for anything, well, not since the breakup, and let's be honest, I'm heartbroken. I've been a lot more willing to say F it and spend money. Tonight, I met Dee for dinner and drinks, and during the drinks part of the evening, she noticed my fresh ink and jokingly asked me if I had gotten promoted or hit the lottery. When I explained to her where this money had come from, she got real serious and told me that spending it like that was disrespectful. Okay? That I had saved that money for something beautiful, and by wasting it proves I never cared about my ex. I disagree. D ended up leaving me at the bar where I'm currently typing this up. He's sitting at the bar typing up a Reddit story because she was upset with me. Maybe it's the fantastic cocktails blurring my judgment, but am I the a-hole for spending my money? Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't even understand. Okay, who is this D person? Like, first of all, D need to get a life. Like, I don't see D's side at all in this. Like, they broke up. Okay, he saved the money for the engagement ring for his ex. They broke up. That money no longer is going towards the engagement ring. That money is his. It's been his all along. It's no longer going towards the engagement ring. What's the problem, right? I don't really see. I don't see anything D could say here that would make sense as far as her argument. Um, yeah, but I mean that's just me. I think this guy, the OP, is completely justified in spending his money the way that he wants to spend it. And I don't really see D's argument at all. But let's go. So to me, he's not the a hole. Let's go down to the comments and see what other people think. Only going to read a couple, just to get a couple of ideas. The very first comment at the top, NTA, and all bold, all uppercase with a bunch of exclamation marks. These women are gone from your life, but you have some nice new ink that will last forever. A bunch of exclamation marks. I don't know how old you are, but I'm almost 33 and regret not getting tattoos I wanted when I was younger because now I have kids and responsibilities and can't fathom getting a tattoo for the foreseeable future. You will meet someone that is right for you and save up new money to spend on that, but the money you had saved for your ex's ring could have been spent however you wanted. I agree. Your new friend was lucky you didn't just go to the strip club with it. I mean, he could have went to the strip club. It's his money. He can do whatever he wants, right? So this is the highest rated comment. I guess like the most popular comment. It's got 5.8K upvotes, which is a lot. So a lot of people agree with this. Let's scroll down a little bit. Next comment. As a 46-year-old woman, you're not the a-hole. What did D expect? Did she want you to keep saving to buy her a ring? Come on, D. It's OP's money. What he does with it is his business. It's not like the ex put any money into those savings to go toward her ring. Don't think any more about it, OP. That woman is nuts to think you shouldn't spend your money on yourself. And I completely agree. So just scrolling down, I'm seeing NTA, 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 meaning not the a-hole. Um, yeah. And the verdict is, well, I don't see a verdict for this one, but just by scrolling through the comments, I can see that a lot of people are saying he's not the a-hole. So we're gonna go with that. Um, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll move on to the next story. All right, for our next story, it's another am I the a-hole? Um, am I the a-hole for deciding not to invite my husband's family to my kid's birthday party after they called her a mistake? That's intense, man. Am I the a-hole for deciding not to invite my husband's family to my kid's birthday party after they called her a mistake? That's nuts, man. So her husband's family called her and her husband's kid a mistake. Wow, that's wild. And then she didn't invite them to the birthday party because of that. So just first thoughts, no. Like you, man, how do you say that about like that's crazy, you know? So right now I'm leaning towards she's not the a hole, but obviously these stories tend to have details in them that can change that. So let's get into it. Me, 25 female, and my husband, 26 male, have been together for 5 years. We had our daughter pretty early on. She's 4 now, and yeah, she wasn't planned, but we were happy, and I have no regrets at all. His family, not so much. They always been kind of cold towards me, and honestly, I've noticed that they don't treat our daughter the same as the other grandkids. Last weekend, we were at his mom's house for a late dinner, and she and my father-in-law were talking about my husband as a teenager. My mother-in-law then proceeded to joke in front of my daughter, saying how he used to be so carefree and go with the flow before he had to settle down so fast. Then she added, I bet he wished he had more time before jumping into the dad life with an oopsie baby. What? Before jumping into the dad life with an oopsie baby. OP was pissed. We ended up leaving soon after that since it was getting late anyway. And that night, as I tucked my daughter into bed, she asked me what an oopsie baby was. Oh my gosh, man. That's crazy. How do you say that in front of the kid? Like how do you say that in general? But like you said in front of the kid that she's an oopsie baby? Like obviously the kid's gonna be like, well, what is that? Right? Like, dang. Okay. As I tucked my daughter into bed, she asked me what an oopsie baby was. I felt heartbroken for her and basically explained that sometimes people have kids by accident, but that doesn't make her any less special. After I put her to bed, I ranted to my husband saying I don't want his mother in law around our daughter if she's going to be saying stuff like that. The last thing I want is for my baby girl to be questioning whether or not she's wanted. Yeah, man, you don't want that. I said I don't want my family in law at her fifth birthday party next month, and I won't be sending them an invite until they apologize for making things awkward. My husband says I'm overreacting over a small comment and I need to relax and not make this a thing. He argued saying I shouldn't overreact, a comment she made when she was tired. He argued saying I shouldn't overreact. It looks like they missed a word. Over a comment she made when she was tired. He told me I'm not allowed to uninvite his family, especially over this. Am I overreacting? Should I just suck it up and let them come to the party and risk my daughter hearing more harmful things? I'm honestly really upset, but I feel like I'm the only person who's mad, so I don't know what to do. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, man, the husband's response in this is not great, man. Like, you guys are married. His family is pretty much talking crap about his daughter, and he's not defending his daughter. He's pretty much saying that, like, who said it? The grandma? I think the grandma's comment about the daughter being an oopsie baby. He's pretty much like brushing it off, acting like it's not a big deal. But like, that's kind of big, and especially like she said it in front of everybody, right? So, I mean, his response is like, I don't like his response in this. He should be taking the wife's side more, uh, in my opinion. Like, I think she's justified in not wanting them around because yeah, like what else are they gonna say, right? Like if they can say that she's an oopsie baby in front of her, in front of everybody, like what else are they gonna say? And you don't want the daughter around that. Like, yeah, so I stick with it. The OP is not the a hole in this situation for me because that's wild, right? All right, so let's hop into some comments and see what other people have to say. Um, Top comment: NTA, not the a hole. If this isn't the first comment they have made, they will continue to make more if you let this slide. Do you want to spend the next few years of your life constantly trying to explain to your daughter and diffuse a situation that they have caused? At some point, she will be old enough to understand. And then, what is your husband going to do? tell his daughter not to be so sensitive. This needs to stop now before it gets worse. Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. Like, give people an inch, they'll take a mile. Like, if you keep allowing them to overstep that boundary, they're going to keep doing it. And for them to do it in a situation like this where, like, it's their family, a young kid in their family, like, yeah, I agree. It does need to stop before it can escalate and get worse. All right, that was the first comment. That's got 4.7K upvotes, so it's a pretty popular comment. Scroll down a little bit. All right. Alternatively, I was an Uzi baby. I've always known I wasn't planned. I know I was loved, and it had zero impact on me knowing this. My sister also had an oopsie baby. She was conceived within a month of my dad meeting her mom. She has always known this, but also knows that her existence is part of her parents' early relationship story, which has resulted in a happy relationship of 30 years and a marriage lasting over 25 years. Knowing your pregnancy was unplanned doesn't need to mean you feel unloved. It's about how families approach it and talk about it. Okay. I mean, this person didn't really determine whether the OP was an a-hole or not, but was the a-hole or not. But she's pretty much saying that, like, the kid hearing that she's an oopsie baby might not have that much of an impact on her, because she was in a similar situation and it didn't impact her. So she's saying that it might not affect the kid as much as OP thinks, which is a possibility, but I still think that OP is justified in not wanting to put her kid in that situation in the first place. Um, so yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think, how you feel about this one. Opinions, thoughts, always welcome. Which brings us to our last story. Let's see what we got here. All right, so for our last story, we have an Am I the A-hole? Title is Am I the A-hole for leaving my boyfriend's B-Day party after what he said to me? Nah, obviously we need more information. Anything could have happened between them. Yeah, if she left the party, it had to have been something bad he said to her. So let's get some more information before we decide if she's an a-hole or not. Went to his party, made a proper effort to look nice, wore a cute top and jeans. I felt really good in it. First thing he says when he sees me is, "Oh, I thought you'd dress up a bit more. Maybe do your makeup or something." And then laughs and goes, "Nah, I'm joking. Chill." What? Everyone else laughed too, and I just stood there like, "Oh, okay, cool." Didn't realize I looked that bad. I stayed for a bit, tried to act normal. There's no punctuation in this story. It's just like run-on sentences. So I'm reading it a little choppy because it's just it's not complete sentences. Okay, I stayed for a bit, tried to act normal, but ended up leaving early. Now he's saying I embarrassed him and made it a big deal for nothing. Am I the a-hole, or was that actually out of order? So pretty much he made fun of her outfit, or said that. So it seems like she tried to dress up, right? Or she did dress up. She made herself look nice. She said, "I made a proper effort to look nice, wore a cute top and jeans. I felt really good in it." So she was looking good, right? The first thing he says is, "Oh, I thought you'd dress up a bit more. I thought you'd dress up a bit more, maybe, or do your makeup or something." And then laughs and goes, "Nah, I'm joking. Chill." Oh my gosh, man. I don't know. Like it. Okay, a part of me is like, yeah, he could have said something else. He could have gave her a compliment or something. Like he didn't have to say what he said. But I mean, leaving, I don't know. And then everybody else laughed at her too, which I guess just kind of made things worse. Um, but I don't know. It kind of seems like one of them situations where she could have let it roll off her shoulders a little bit. Um, but if she really got upset by it, she could have maybe talked to him about it, tried to, talk to him and be like, "Hey, I don't like what you just said to me. I did make an effort to look nice for your party. I wore a nice outfit. Um, I don't I don't appreciate the way you spoke to me and what you said about what I'm wearing. Um, yeah, she could definitely talk to him and let him know that her feelings were hurt by what he said and by the fact that everybody laughed at her, instead of just walking out. But I'm not mad at her for leaving. Like, if she was uncomfortable, she was angry at the situation, angry at him for what he said and for embarrassing her. Yeah, she has every right to walk out. So I wouldn't say she's a hole. I think she's fine. Um, you know. All right, let's hop into a couple comments, see what other people have to say. So, top comment. It's the first thing he said in front of other people, not the a hole. Holy crap! How dare he? Wait, holy crap! How dare he then say you embarrassed him? He embarrassed himself and showed everyone who he really is. Dump that MF yesterday. No one should be greeting you like that. I'm glad you left early. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that comment. Like, yeah. So this person's agreeing with her decision to leave, which is fine. Like, if she wanted to leave, she had every right to leave. Scroll down a little bit. No work is required here. It's the easiest thing in the world to see someone to not see someone anymore. Enforcing strong boundaries is really, really important for your future happiness. Yeah, like I mentioned, like she could have let him know that what he said was not cool, made her uncomfortable, and kind of like set that boundary. Like, hey, please don't speak to me like this, or pull me to the side if you have something to say like that. Don't do it in front of everybody and embarrass me. Do what you need to do, and to be clear, that means nicely, gently letting this guy go, and then going no contact. Rise above, move forward. Yeah, that's a pretty good comment. Um, so yeah, like I said, I don't think in this situation she's the a hole. I think she was justified in leaving if she didn't feel okay being there and she felt disrespected. Um, yeah. So that's the third story. Um, I appreciate you guys hanging around, spending time with me. I will be posting more. So if you feel so inclined, just click on the video, pop in, have a watch, maybe leave a comment or two, and say what you got to say. Let's make this a community. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.